واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون صدق الله العظيم. We begin any gathering with the praise of the Almighty Lord, the most gentle one, the teacher, the guide, the remover of difficulties, the controller of everything, and the truthful one. We send peace and salam and salutations upon the greatest creation to ever been created, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we send peace and blessings upon the Ahlul Bayt, the Sahaba, the Tabi'in, the Taba Tabi'in, the awliya, the pious and the righteous. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with them all. Now, we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Almighty One. He is the most loving one. He's most a kind one. And we know that He loves us. But does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want anything in return? What do people think? Jamil? I'll try not to pick on Nabil first. Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants anything in return?
You don't need anything, but don't know.
It's fine if you don't know. So there's no right or wrong answer. Those things. Brother Dil, does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want anything in return for the unconditional love? You sure? Inshallah, we'll come to that answer. Again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, again, they were a creation, but again, they have really unconditional love for everyone. You know, the Quran says they were a mercy for the whole of mankind. And we don't necessarily need to go through the hadith of, that they used to pray and cry each night for their ummah that was yet to come. And even we know the hadith about when they said that I am praying for the brothers that are about to come. And when the Sahaba said, we are your brothers, they said, no, you are my companions. Those brothers are those who have not seen me, are yet to come and will believe in me. So do we think Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants anything in return? Whether Shiz?
So you mentioned that does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala want anything in return? Well, the most beloved of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then if we look at the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam conducted their life, it was in a particular way. So by making the assumption that we should try and follow that same way as well, by conducting ourselves in a certain way, and which will be pleasing for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a result of the love they've given us. I don't know. That's just my thinking.
That's a good answer. I mean, really, if you flip it on the question on its head, even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or Rasulullah wanted something from us, as we've already said, they are not in need, or they are not they're not short of anything. So we know that much. But really then the question is, whatever we give to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, be that by ibadat or Rasulullah by practicing sunnah, whom actually benefits from that? It's us, isn't it? So then if you look at that question again, no, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not in need of anything. They love us, as He said, they've created us. They give us the ability to breathe. They give us the ability to taste, see. Every little single blessing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. They gave it unconditionally like that. They didn't say, I will give you sight, but only if you use it in a certain manner as such. Yes, there are instructions, but the mere giving of sight wasn't merely just given on the basis that I'll only give you this sight if you do this. Yes, our souls agreed that we would worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we wouldn't associate any partners and such. But really, if you think about it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us everything and He's not in need of anything. And then that question comes, even if we give anything, not that we can match anything in return for the sheer blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is we benefit. We know about really why when we do shukr that we get more. Just even simply by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you say subhanallah, alhamdulillah, we get the benefit from it. We know the hadith again which says that every time you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, another tree is planted in Jannah for you. So again, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet we are benefiting, as He said. It almost seems like a one-sided deal that we praise or we do anything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's us benefit. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't benefit. The greatest creation doesn't need to benefit. because, as he said, they are the greatest creation. They are not short of anything. And when we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saying Subhanallah, Allah is already the most pure one. Al-Quddus, the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then following on from that, even the Sahabas and the Tabi'in, the Tabi'in, and all the righteous who have come since then, again, they were really not in need of anything from us. So people, again, the Tabi'in who followed the Sahaba, it wasn't the Sahaba were in need of anything or short of anything. And then if we follow that line, we now come to the current day. If we look at the true awliya, they are the same mindset. They only want to help us. They only want to give to us. They don't need anything from us. They're not short of anything. TK, you obviously get these fake peas or fake awliya, as we call them, who maybe when you shake their hands or kiss their hands, you have to slip a note with the king's head now, maybe not the queen's head, or do something else from that perspective. Or maybe you have to, I don't know, buy them a Mercedes or such, or pay for their first class tickets to Pakistan or coming from Pakistan to the UK. That seems to be the case. But if we know the true awliya, they will never ask for anything from us. And really, those of us who know Hazrat Sahab or have had dealings with Hazrat Sahab ever asked anything from us? They haven't, have they? And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that, look, this concept of love and the true love that we should really have for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because really from our perspective, whom should we be loving? We should be loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Really, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that until you love me more than anything else, you've not really reached that station. You don't really know about me or from that perspective, because they, as he said, they loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most, more than their wives, more than their children from that perspective. And really by us expressing that love more than our parents, we are getting close to Rasulullah, because again, we know from our teachings that it's not a case of we can go directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And really this is the job of the awliya, to deliver to Rasulullah, who will then obviously take us to Allah azawajal. But Rasulullah said that this concept of love, or it's an emotion as such, it's such a great emotion that really if you love the wrong things or give it in the wrong places, then it's going to harm you. And if you give it to the right entities, the right things, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like the awliya, the pious, the righteous, then you will be in good hands. And we have examples, those who are married, be it your husband or wife. Yes, you might love your partner from that perspective, but what does that partner want from you? They always want something from you. Maybe I don't know, there's some true Romeo Juliet type stories, I don't know. But really, in most cases, TK husband loves wife. Maybe he loves her because he knows that she cooks for him, she cleans for him, etc., etc. And vice versa, the wife may love the husband, because he's got a good job, he's providing for her. But there's always some kind of conditionality attached to that. Because maybe ask most blokes, if your wife didn't cook for you, if she didn't clean for you, she didn't iron your clothes, and that would be the true test of love. And vice versa, if you didn't provide for your wife, maybe you never took her out ever, do you really think she's going to love you unconditionally? And this, even look at friends. We might have friends from school, we might know them college kind of thing, but again, it's not kind of an unconditional kind of love even between friends, because all it takes is one or two incidents and a friendship of 10, 15, 20 years could easily be broken. And those people who, let's say, committed to their work, you can give a service, your lifetime service to a company, but maybe as soon as you do something wrong, you're out of the door. And really, what are they getting from you? They're getting work out of you, aren't they? I mean, a lot of employees try to make it look like your work's your family and give you so many benefits, and because why? They know you're going to work harder. And so really they're getting a benefit, because as soon as you stop working, you're going to be out the door. And even those who've got kids, till you get to a certain age, kids may not appreciate it, but maybe when the kids get to teenage years or early adults before they get married, you may love your kids again, but the kids again will want things out of you. Imagine how many kids will actually love you if you don't get them the new Nikes or give them the new PlayStations or from that. You'll probably see their reaction. And so sometimes what also happens is people start to really love themselves. And what do we mean by that? Really, you're loving your own desires, your own nafs. And really, if you're giving to that, where's that going to lead you? It's going to lead you to trouble. It's either by committing zina, because, the nafs, the desire, wants everything. It wants more food, more this, more materialism. The example is drug addicts. They want more of that drug, and they keep feeding it and chasing that thrill that eventually takes over their life. That addiction, that from the nafsanic desires, is really in control of them. And it can lead to extreme examples where people commit like great criminal acts under the influence of drugs, or people end up in prison because they've had to steal to feed that habit. But really, then we have to think, what does this love do? It creates focus in someone. So when you love someone, you're going to be focused. And if you love your children, you're focused on your children. You're focused on what they wear, what they eat, what education they get in. You have an interest that they do better in their education. You're trying to mold them. You're trying to better them. And even if you love a partner, as you said, you're going to be interested. You may want to buy gifts for them. You look at the classic story of Romeo and Juliet, the lengths that they're prepared to go for the love of each other, that they were defying their families effectively. So really, if you think about that, you really, love can, conquer everything. People will go against their parents, people will go against their families simply because maybe they love a partner and the family's not going to it, but they're prepared to put all that aside, the fact that their parents have nurtured them, fed them for 20, 25 years of their life. It will all go out of the window if they feel they love that person, they want to marry that person. So if you then look at it, love is such a powerful emotion, it can conquer many things. And, having love of wealth. Take the example, look at these big countries. They're chasing oil everywhere or natural resources. It's really a love of wealth, isn't it? They're prepared to go to war on it. They're prepared to invade countries, kill hundreds and thousands, if not millions, just to get their hands on certain wealth. So then now it tells you how powerful this emotion is, that, and we all hear a story where people do stupid things for love. They'll do stupid things. People, go extreme as if they can't get a particular girl or a thing, they'll go and commit suicide as such. Or they self-harm themselves. But then, now we know how powerful that emotion of love is. But what is the true love? Is it just a mere emotion? A passing, you may love someone one day, maybe next day you don't. You love your kids really one day, but if they do something wrong, probably in that instant or for a few hours afterwards, you're not going to love them. If your kid turns into a drug addict, are you really still going to love them? Will you still have that same love that you had when they were 2, 3 years old? You may love your wife or your husband, but imagine they go and cheat on you. Will that love be broken in an instant? Sometimes it is, isn't it? So then you think, well, really, what is the true love? Is it just mere emotion, just some cheap words, buying a few cards, flowers, a few gifts? But it's so flimsy, it's just, broken easily. I'll give you the example even in friends. Imagine you have a friend. So Jameer, look, imagine Adam takes you out every day and he buys you food. Maybe he does that any day, I don't know, maybe he does it already. But imagine he buys you food every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What do you think you will do after that?
Keep in contact with him.
MashaAllah. You'll think, okay, good guy to stay in contact with. I'm getting fed here every day. Will you do anything else?
I'll do the same back.
Exactly. You might buy him food. You think, hold on, this guy's fed me all week. So I'll pay for one time. It'll be a natural feeling, won't it? That you want to do something back in return. Just like, again, I don't know, if again, those who have kids, imagine your kids clean the house, as you said, even as a parent, you're probably going to reward them. Or imagine your wife cooks you the best meal that you like, and then she suddenly drops, oh, by the way, I need to go on holiday, or she needs this or she needs that. But you're going to do something in return for that love, or that kind of act of love in that sense. But then you see, as you said, if he keeps buying you, let's say he buys for a month, you're not just going to keep taking them from him, aren't you? Sooner or later you're going to give back, you're going to buy food, are you not? And so really then, if we follow that, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us, and we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us unconditionally, then how are we giving back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Not that again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala needs it, but how are we giving back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How are we actually then really reciprocating that unconditional love? Tika, we can't match it on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's level, but what even small acts are we doing to return that? Because he said, if the friend's buying you food for 7 days on throat, you will buy them food back, guaranteed. But yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with so much. Look at the amount of blessings that we got. And what do we do with them? We don't even do proper shukr. I mean, if anything, as he said, we then use these blessings in a wrong manner. Tika, I'm afraid we think that the tongue, the eyes, we take them for granted. But as go and speak to that person who can't speak, who can't listen, who can't see. And yet we take it for granted and we misuse it. That's why we misuse it, because we take it for granted. And then following on from that, then to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, night after night they were praying for us, for my ummati to come. And what do? We're embarrassed to wear the imamah. We're embarrassed to look even in the sunnah. Even our own family will say stuff to us. Why are you dressed like that all of a sudden? All kinds of, there's many sunnahs. How many of us would, let's say, go to a restaurant and clean the plate with a finger? Would we do it? Those brothers who've sat with Hazrat Sahib, yeah, we do it. But imagine, I don't know, maybe not when, let's say, you're out with 3 brothers. Imagine you're out normally with your wife or your friends. How many of us actually would clean that plate the way we do in front of Hazrat Sahib? And so, these are again small examples of, the sunnah. We'd probably be embarrassed to do that, let's say. Or imagine you went out with the work colleagues or something. You probably think it's embarrassing, isn't it, to do that in front of work? Because we're going to think, what these work colleagues are going to think, that, what are we, hungry, or we kind of, really, we're not getting fed at home. That will be our mindset, won't it? But really, imagine if you just did that in front of your work colleagues, and somebody might give you the look and might ask you something, and you explain why you do it. It would make complete sense to them, wouldn't they? They wouldn't still say you're stupid. They probably actually make sense, isn't it? We waste food. Even that bit of sauce on the plate is still food, isn't it? And that could be the blessing that takes you to Jannah. Who says you have to leave a half-dirty plate? Is it because we're blessed with food? Because if we were in Africa, we would be doing that, wouldn't we? There would be no qualms about making sure that plate's clean. But yet, because we're blessed with so much food, we're disregarding it, and then we almost, as you said, disregarding the sunnah. We're embarrassed of the sunnah. And really, it does start from our own selves, our families, that, the brother, let's say, he may start going to be too long. Maybe the wife or the mother will say, no, it's a bit too long, cut it down, or whatever it may be, trim it, it looks too long. All these kind of little things start happening. Or you start maybe even dressing the sunnah when you're visiting family and they want you to, or a wedding comes along and you want to wear a jubba, but then they say, no way, get a suit, get a 3-piece. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with wearing a suit. Let's make that clear. But really, do we not want to wear the sunnah? Or are we embarrassed by it? And again, look, this is not aimed at anyone, so don't think, oh, I must do this every time, because we all know it's a process which takes many times. So, you're not going to grow a beard overnight. You're going to start wearing a jubba straight away. I didn't. Even this imam that came out, I just wore first a normal topi. Maybe wore, as he said, imam on Eid or special occasions, and then slowly, and you're wearing it more and more often. And then we turn to the awliya Allah. Now we've said, look, they're always given to us. They don't take from us. The true awliya don't take from you. They're not asking for a monthly direct debit. If you want to give it by choice, for whatever reason, that's but no one will say to you, especially in this street, that you're forced to give money for something. So if the awliya of Allah are giving you so much, how are we repaying that favour to them? Because again, are we not just doing the same? We're taking, and we keep on taking. And there's no harm in taking, because really, awliya of Allah, that's what they're there for. Yes, we should take from them, that's what they're there for. But there comes a point, giving again that example, if that friend is buying food for every single day, sooner or later, you're going to, or you would normally return that favour. You would do it with a friend, but when the awliya of Allah are giving you some, so how are we then returning it? Are we following what we've been told? Are we doing our zikr every day? Or do we think it's such a big hurdle? We've been told to tick sheets, can't be bothered to do it, too busy, don't feel like doing it. Maybe when the mentor rings, they'll quickly do 10 ticks in one. No, Heather, I'm not talking about you. So, this sometimes happens, that again we take from the awliya of Allah all the time. We benefit, but what do we give them back in return? We can't give them any time. I'm not even asking, no one's asking you for your money. But we can't give him time. We can't take half an hour out. We can't take an hour out to give them time. And so then we have to think, are we not just like that friend whom he's taking us out every single night? We're eating the food, we're taking, but we're not prepared to return back. We're not going to buy him food once. And we all know we would buy them food once. We all know we would do it. But when it comes to, let's say, deedy matters, it's take, and we're in this little mindset of, oh, that we'll just keep taking because I've got this issue, I've got that issue. One day I'll come pious and then I will give back. By that time, the angel of death might come. Like with anything in life, you've got to give and you've got to take. Again, those in relationships with husbands and wives, you have to give and you have to take, isn't it? It's not a one-sided thing. Even children now, maybe teenagers growing up or in the early 20s who are not married, even with your parents, you're giving and taking, aren't you? Yes, you're taking from them. Sometimes you do good deeds at home, you might lift the dishes, your mother's cooked for you, lifting the dishes. That's still better than nothing, isn't it? If your mother, let's say, wasn't well, you'd help her cooking, you'd help her do the household chores. So again, you would be giving back. And this is not a case you have to give massive amounts of back, but whatever small thing you can give in your way. But that means going outside your comfort zone. Otherwise, we're going to remain in this little kind of hole ourselves that, oh, well, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't do this and I can't do that. And if they ask me at this particular time on a particular day when I'm free, then I can do it. Otherwise, I'm sorry, too busy for it. But yet there we are, we're taking all the time. And again, make it clear, the awliya Allah are not in need of us. They're doing it to benefit us. Really, if you think about awliya of Allah, they've achieved their station, yet they continue to do the work. So really then, this mindset should now start be doing, again, brothers who've been many years on the path, when is it we're going to make that jump and we're going to help spread the message? Because really it's a duty on all of us. Really it's a duty as a Muslim that we have to spread the message. It's not just about ourselves. And there's that story where, I think I referred to before, where there was a village and nobody was following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there was a pious guy in his house, but he just used to stay in his house. And when the command was given to destroy it, and the angel said, oh no, but in that house is such a pious man, he's worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he wasn't spreading the message. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, start with him first. So that should be a start lesson for us. That really we should all be assisting in our small way of trying to do the message. That may be sharing a poster, inviting other brothers to come. Giving dawah with the best hikmah to our family. Not ramming down their throats, but where the opportunity arises, by giving some good dawah to family and friends, and so forth and so forth. People might not think even operating a camera. You allow, somebody's put this here, allows my voice to reach the sisters. Again, somebody's helping the message getting spread about from that perspective. So this is just, again, it's really almost like a mindset that we have to have and almost develop as we realize in whichever teacher we're under, that really the teachers are always giving to us, and yet we can't be bothered to give them back. We think our problems are the biggest. I have the most issues than any other brother or any other sister. I'm the one who's struggling with the most. Well, it's news for you. Everyone's in the same issues. Do I find it hard to take my sheets? Of course I do. It can be a real drag to take your sheets. Even that review might get late a few days. You know your review's due, but you're delaying it. Okay, I'll message them on the weekend. Weekend comes, and before you reach 7 days are gone. Then they message you. You may message a mentor. They may be busy for you, or vice versa. They don't get back 2 days. You let it keep slipping, and all these kind of. So everyone has these same issues, but that doesn't stop you really from even helping and giving back. Because again, who will benefit? It will you benefits. The tariq or Hazrat Sahab or any other awliya is not in need of us. By someone operating that camera, if you're not there to operate it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring someone else. If I think I'm too busy to even deliver a bayan, somebody else will deliver it. The work won't stop because I'm not doing it. So really then, it's you who benefits again, and will keep on benefiting. And this is not, thinking of it as almost as two channels. One is your purification. The more purification you do, the better you will be. And even if you help spread the message, you will still benefit. So think of it, as he said, as two income streams coming. The more you do, the more you're going to benefit. Not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not the awliya of Allah. It will be you who benefits. So when we think that it's going to be me benefits, and again, this is not having that mindset, okay, well, I'll only do the camera because maybe I'll benefit. Maybe I only read namaz because I just want Jannah. Tika, that's maybe initially when we start on any deen path. We all want to avoid the hellfire. Let's be frank about it. Who doesn't? And that may be our initial thing. But then as you develop, you then realize the love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grows. And it's on various levels, isn't it? It's not just you either love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not. It's not a straight black or white kind of situation. The love develops at various levels. And you'll realize as you mature, then you'll have more love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll then start getting love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam by practicing more and more sunnahs. The jubba comes out more, the beard might start getting longer, the imamah comes out, other sunnahs, reading du'as, making that effort to remember the du'a before we even eat, after we eat, and so forth. And it's different levels that you see from that perspective. And really, it comes really back to that basic point. The more shukr you do of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the awliya of Allah, and we do that shukr really by doing something back for them, because that's the only small way we can do it. We can't match Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's love, or Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or the awliya's love, awliya Allah's love for us. It is said obviously that the teacher or the awliya of Allah think of you 60 times, maybe a minute or an hour, I can't remember. Will we remember the awliya of Allah even once an hour? You have to then look at it. So really, what they give us, and we can't match it. But again, it's almost like a token of appreciation that you're doing. Jamil might buy Adam a Ferrari tomorrow. Adam can't afford it, but I don't know, he might buy you a magic tree for your car. So, So just basic concluding that really think about who you actually love and whether that is a right love. And then think, once you do that, am I actually loving that person, or is it just a token love? And what am I supposed to be doing? What can I do? What abilities has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given me that in a small way I can give back as such to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the awliya of Allah. If I said anything wrong or not in accordance with Islam, I seek forgiveness from my errors, and all goodness comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun alal mursalin, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.